Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for sticking with us. Unemployment among veterans is up slightly, and that's according to the most recent report from the U.S. Department of Labor. But the Texas Veterans Commission is trying to combat that. It's holding a massive job fair next weekend in Round Rock, and it's hoping to attract employers who value the experience and the specific skill set that so many of our state's military veterans have and bring to the workforce. And the commission really has a great track record of doing just that. So joining me now are a couple of different success stories to prove it. So on the end, I want to introduce you to Isaax Marquez-Diaz. He is the commission's veteran employer liaison and the one coordinating this upcoming fair. So we'll get to you in just a bit, the success you've seen in the past and what you're hoping for from this event. But we do want to start with a really incredible story. First, Cory Patton here next to me, an Air Force veteran who found employment by attending a TVC job fair. And then Cody Peres, the president of Heritage Roofing and Construction, a Marine Corp veteran himself. So tell me a bit about your story. I know you two met at that fair. I want to start with you though, because give us a peek into that day. When you were walking into that job fair, what had your employment search looked like? Were there any concerns or fears? And then tell us about the moment you two met.
So I came in the construction background originally, and then I walked in, you know, it's scary, but Texas Veterans Commission made it pretty easy and a pretty easy process. And there's always people behind you to help you out. And then waited a minute and then decided to call Cody, and Cody was great. And you know, he's making me definitely out of my comfort zone, but it's great. It's a great experience with Heritage.
So tell me, what was it that you saw in him and in, I'm sure, several of the veterans you spoke to? What were those qualities that said, this is going to be a great employee and partner of ours?
Absolutely. There's thousands of veterans that are walking around looking for different things and all different types of people. And so, you know, it's a large part of posture, stature, and confidence. You know, like he said, it's scary, but how you present yourself in an unfamiliar situation like that will tell me pretty much everything I need to know about you as far as this job, just because you know, this is a high-level career that we offer, and the training is extremely strenuous, but, you know, the outcome, the reward of it is higher than most jobs that veterans can get after. You know, there's 1,000 roofing companies out there, 100,000 of them. Heritage is different because of our people. You know, the people that we're looking for, the people that we train, the amount that we put into, and it's a special relationship that we have with each one of our sales reps and employees.
Talk to me now, you both having military experience. I imagine that allows you as coworkers to connect in a way that maybe some of us here don't just have. Absolutely. So what is that like?
Of course, at Heritage, it is a team, it is a camaraderie with other veterans, and it makes you feel at home. You can like-minded people, and it gets you out of every comfort zone you can, and you feel right at home.
I have sales reps from a lance corporal up to a full bird colonel, and they'll all tell you the same thing. You know, being at one of our morning meetings is like a formation. The jokes, the who's going to be 10 minutes, 15 minutes early. It's a competition for who's going to be there first. It's just, everything is just different here. It gives you that feeling, that sense of belonging that you had when you were in the military, whatever branch you were in, and we're able to replicate that with a high volume success to provide for your family here stateside.
Okay, Isaac, I want to bring you in. You have been hard at work planning this giant job fair that's coming up, but you have actually hosted a job fair at Kalahari Resorts in Round Rock before. So talk about that, the idea for hosting it at a water park, an amazing resort venue. It's a bit different than maybe walking into a boring old conference room, I imagine.
Yeah, like Cory said, I was in that situation before. Like, you come into a job fair, it's kind of scary and overwhelming. So I try to see if I can create something different. When you come in and you don't feel that, you know, being scared or overwhelming, it's just too much for us, you know, transitioning from the military. So I wanted to make it a little bit fun, you know. Like I mentioned before, like one of those guys that used to go to those Comic-Con kind of things. So that's why the name of it, the theme of it. And I wanted to make sure that, you know, mainly because it's summer, that they can come bring their kids, their family, so they can feel more comfortable with who's around them, more like veteran friendly, family friendly, so they can feel more comfortable, and they can also find their career. Not only just a job, but they find their career, and then in a good environment, not just on that maybe possibly hostile environment that they might feel.
And very quickly, we just have a couple seconds left with you all, but it was very successful last year. Briefly give us some of the highlights of that success.
So it was that now with this year, it's going to be on July 24th. But it's now we're partnering with people that we're gonna be able to give veterans maybe a free haircut, free professional clothing. If they come in and they're struggling and they need those services, we're gonna have like a makeover area where we can help them out, make sure that they get that best possibility to get that dream job. Make sure we help them out. Like in the military, we always make sure that our soldier next to each other was squared away, like he was saying. We're trying to do that this time so we can help them as much as possible.
Incredible stuff. Okay, when we have this interview clipped and added to our KXAN.com website, we'll make sure to get all the details, the time, the location, of course, Kalahari events, so that folks who are interested in attending that job fair can do so. But to each of you, thank you so much for being here, for your time, your story, and for your service as well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your support.
And we'll be right back after the break.